Hello, today we're talking about 7-1, which is 0 and negative exponents. Our SWABAT is to simplify expressions involving 0 and negative exponents. Properties of 0 as an exponent. For every non-zero number a to the 0 power equals 1. So anything raised to the 0 power will always equal 1 as long as the base is not 0. For example, 4 to the 0 power, what do you think that equals? 1. Negative 23 to the 0 power also equals 1. What about 2.293? You are correct. It does equal 1. Very good. The next thing about this one is negative exponents. For every non-zero negative number a and integer n, a to the negative n equals 1 over a to the n. Basically, this negative exponent, we are not allowed to have those. And so to get rid of them, we move them. So if you imagine this being a fraction, if it's negative up on top, you move it down to the bottom and make it positive. So if I had 1 over a to the negative n on the bottom, then in order for me to simplify that, I would move this up a to the n over 1, which is just a to the n. So if it's negative up top, we bring it down to the bottom to make it positive. If it's negative in the bottom, we move it up to make it positive. So for this one, 2 to the negative 4, I can put this over 1, and it becomes 1 over 2 to the 4th power. 2 to the 4th power is 2 times 2 times 2 times 2, which is 16. Okay, same thing for this one. Negative 4 to the negative 3rd power. This is 1 over negative 4 to the 3rd power. It was negative up here. I put that over 1, I move it down and it becomes positive, like the reciprocal, switches places. This is 1 over negative 64. How did I get that negative 64? Negative 4 times negative 4 times negative 4. Alright, let's try some. Let's combine those two rules and see how we do. Simplify each expression. So 6bc to the 0. Well, what's to the 0 power? Just the c. So this 6, still there. B, still there. C to the 0 power, though, that equals 1, so it's like it's not there at all. Okay, now this one, I'm seeing a negative exponent. Whenever I see it, if it's not already a fraction, I'm going to make it a fraction. And I'm going to look at it term by term. So I just have a 3. That doesn't have a negative exponent, so that can stay exactly where it is. M to the negative 8, though, that negative 8 tells me it needs to move. And when I move it down, it becomes a positive 8. P to the 0, well, that equals 1, so it's like it's not even there. I'm not going to bother with it. You make that box worthy. Okay, let's look at letter C. 8 to the negative 2, Q to the 3rd, R to the negative 5. I don't have a fraction, but it would be very, very helpful for me to have one. So then I'm going to look at it step by step. 8 to the negative 2. Negative exponent, that's going to make it move down and it becomes positive. Q to the 3rd power, that's fine where it's at because it's a positive exponent already. Q to the negative 5, got a problem moving it down and it becomes to the 5th power. Is this box worthy? Almost. I'm going to write it as Q cubed over, what's 8 squared? 64. And then Q to the 5th. Want to try a little bit more? Of course you do. So we have a lot kind of going on here. Well, this is the negative number, but it's not a negative exponent. So I'm not really bothered by that negative sign just yet. But because I do have a negative exponent here, I'm going to go ahead and put this over 1. This b to the 0, just a distraction. I'm not going to let it bother me because I know that equals 1 already. So I have a negative up here. It's technically multiplying, so I'm going to make that negative 1. So this is negative 1. Now on the bottom, 10a, and I'm going to keep it to the 4th power. That's it. That's all that could move. So I'm going to keep it as just in parentheses 10a, which is this part, and keep it to the 4th power. I like it. You like it? I love it. Now we got like the whole alphabet for this one. Let's deal with it. Draw your fraction bar. And basically, I just want you to determine what can stay and what has got to go. 5 stays or goes? Very good. It stays because it doesn't have a negative exponent. M to the negative 1 stays or goes? That needs to go. You got to go. Negative numbers cannot be up there. Negative exponents. 9 stays or goes? Correct. It stays because it doesn't have a negative exponent. The quantity AB to the negative 4 stays down or goes up? Goes up. AB to the 4th power. C to the 7th power stays down or goes up? Stays down. C to the 7th power. That is it. Can you read that? This is a 9 MC to the 7th. You like it? I love it. Write each number as a power of 10 using negative exponents. So I have 1 over 100. What's 100 as an exponent? Well, 100 is like 10 times 10. So that's 10 squared. Also, the reason why you know there's 2 zeros, so it should be raised to the 2nd power. Now, for a change, they want me to use negative exponents. So I have 1 over 10 squared. That's great. But I want a negative exponent. So now, in order to make this negative, if it was positive up top, it's going to be negative. I don't know why that negative sign is there, though. That's called a mistake. It's going to be 10 to the negative 2 on top. Only issue that I have here, I don't need to write this over 1. It's just 10 to the negative 2. That is box worthy. Over here I have 1 over 10 to some power. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So as a negative exponent, I can move it up to the negative 5. I'm not going to write it over 1 because you don't actually need that. And then go ahead, press pause if you'd like to. But I'm assuming this is going to be 10 to the negative 6 because there's 6 zeros. There you go. And that is your lesson on positive and negative exponents.